All right, folks, that's right. You're back with a great No Cover TV podcast show. This is right. This is your host, Big Al. We've got a great podcast for you today. I'm going to talk just a minute first before we get to the show. I want to thank everybody out there for checking out the shows. We got a lot of great viewers. We actually picked up New Zealand and Australia checking out the No Cover TV podcast, and all you musicians that are coming on the show. And we're playing your music. We're talking really in depth about your careers, where you started, how you started, and where you're going. And that's what we want to do on No Cover TV is promote the local, original, and national original music out there from wherever you are. Now, we're based out of Michigan, actually Grand Rapids. And what's nice is now we get to promote I get to promote everybody around the world and the country. I just don't have to focus on Michigan, which I love my home state and my boys in the local Grand Rapids area. Big shout out to them. But, my heart's out to the music and everybody that's trying to get their music out there. So give me a holler if you want to be on the show. You can do that. You can press the button below the link to send me a message, or you can actually send me a message through my email, which is nocovertv@yahoo.com. nocovertv@yahoo.com. So my artist is here straight across from me looking at me. I don't even want to look at him because he's just staring me down. This is crazy, man. Been with me for many, many, many years. This gentleman has seen it all. And he's played it all. He's done it all. The man of the hour in the house is Mick Jansen. And most of you are going to know him, also known as Mick Nasty. Mick, you're in the house, brother. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. Good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Good to be here.
Very good to see you, man. Wow. Yeah. Seeing you smile again, it's been so long.
It's been years.
It's been years, brother. So many years. Mick has been around. He's very well known in the area of Michigan and West Michigan and abroad, actually. Mick's done a lot of things in his journeys, and we're going to catch up with him. And you know how I like to dig into a little of everything. So we're going to maybe surprise Mick. Who knows what I'm going to ask him. And we're going to find out, aren't we, Mick? Yeah. I kind of feel like we're in Donahue or something.
Well, I'm used to TV with you.
Yeah, Mick's been on the show.
I guess nuts don't just work.
We don't have the camera on you now, do we? Well, we do have a camera. You have your beautiful wife here, Pam.
Yeah.
My beautiful wife, Denise, is here. Everybody's taking pictures, which is pretty cool. Didn't think I was going back on camera again.
There you go.
Yeah, well, here we go. Yeah, I got to buff the bald spot. Hey, well, don't talk about that, guys. So we're here to talk about Mick and everything in his music. He actually brought his git fiddle, his guitar with him. I think he's going to present us with a tune or two in this session if we have time, and I'm sure we're going to fit that in. All right, Mick. So
do we don't. It's always the YouTubes.
The YouTubes, right. So, well, I've already introduced you, but why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself and where you're from, and and then I'll get into question you.
All right. I'm Mick Jansen. I play Apostolic Rock and Roll nowadays. I come from a tumultuous rock and roll past, and I have changed and been redeemed by Jesus Christ our Lord. And Lord God on that, because I'd be dead now. And I wouldn't be having my lovely life that I have now with my lovely wife. And it's a beautiful thing.
Nice. Very nice, Mick. I love that because you've had a long journey. It's been up, it's been down, it's been all over the place. And it's kind of like a lot of us musicians go through that.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Crazy world, ups and downs that we encounter and stuff. And,
the things you see and you can't unsee.
You can't undo those memories, unfortunately. But you keep the good ones in your heart and your mind,
Absolutely.
too.
Push them forward.
No, you got to, definitely. Yeah. So, well, let's start a little bit. Let's go back, all right? Let's go back. Let's go way back, all right? There we go on the spaceship. Here we go, boy. All right, folks. Okay, Mick, you're a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why? You're back in the 80s. You're listening to some great stuff. Yeah. And you decided you want to pick up, was it the drumstick or the guitar first?
Violin.
You picked up, that was the first thing I picked up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I had the choice of guitar, banjo, or violin.
Okay.
And my dad was like, well, you seem small for a guitar. And and whatever. But I was like into like that early country a lot as a kid, and I wanted a blue fiddle like the dude from Alabama.
Okay, yeah, right. I remember that.
And but anyway, so I ended up having to, do all the private lessons, and then ended up in orchestra, and then doing the St. Cecilia Music Society, and it ended up being a thing.
Okay.
Which got me into music, and I was 7 years old.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we had moved around after my parents divorced and bouncing around, and ended up at a school that didn't have orchestra anymore. And I was like, well, and here was 87, 86, something like that. And it's like, I don't want to play violin, right?
Right, yeah.
So I tried to get in the school band as a drummer, but they had too many drummers. And I was just like, well, I'll just start my own band. And because I wanted to rock and roll anyway.
Yeah.
And, well, a lot of it, though, was like, the Monkees was a big, huge deal at that time because MTV was replaying all the Monkee episodes.
They were.
And then they did their 20th anniversary reunion tour in 1986.
How do you remember that?
I was there.
Well, you're right. I was too.
And I thought it was awesome. And I loved the show because I thought Mickey Dolenz, the last standing monkey, by the way, could sing, play drums, and he was funny. And it turns out that I can sing, play drums, and I'm rather funny. So that was like a big influence there in that aspect. But I went into
just a little interference from the dog.
Well, no, I mentioned I was funny, so you had to have racket.
It's a live show.
Waka. Anyway, so then shortly after that was like, I saw Poison open up for David Lee Roth.
Okay.
And that was like Ricky Rocket playing drums for Poison and Greg Bissonette playing drums for David Lee Roth. And they were both showmen, great drummers. And I was like, that's what I want to do. So therefore, I started to look for people who wanted to start a band. Mm-hmm. And it took a minute to figure out who was going to play what once we found the people. Because there was a couple of us that were like, yeah, let's start a band. We don't know what to play yet. So you try different instruments, whatever. And then I bought a drum set with my first job and ended up being the drummer. And I had taken choir so I could sing, and I learned to play drums and sing at the same time, which I use to this day, where people are like, you can sing and play drums? I go, yeah. Because I learned it together.
Nice.
I mean, if you're lifelong drummer and you try to sing, it'd be kind of difficult, or if you're, all the way around.
All right.
But it was like together, But it was just fun rock and roll stuff. And then we ended up, I won 40 hours of recording time by entering a giveaway at Pharaoh's Music, if you remember that.
Yes, of all places.
Down at Masterview, down in Otsego. And so there we are, teenagers in a recording studio, professional recording studio, learning, which I learned stuff that made it every other time I had to go to the studio more comfortable. It never had that wow factor again,
right?
Because we were able to get that out of the way early. Like, okay, I'm used to this. It's comfortable. Okay. I understand the process. Played at the Top of the Rock. Z-Rock night,
the day.
1991. And it was awesome. And I almost lit the dressing room on fire. But, what are you going to do?
What was the name of the band of that
Endless Mayhem.
Endless Mayhem was the first band.
Endless Mayhem, yep. And we played the Goddard High School talent show.
Nice.
At their auditorium. That was our very first show. And then played a bunch of other things. And Top of the Rock, of course. And then after graduation and people started going their separate ways. Mm-hmm. Then I ended up down in Detroit playing in a glam band called Glamour Puss. And we played, with like the Trash Brats and these other Detroit bands, Harpo's and the Ritz. And Blondies and things like that.
Okay.
And
tearing it up in Detroit.
Yeah, it was great. And still friends with some people from that time down there. And ended up having to come back to Grand Rapids and then shifted out to LA for a minute. Was there in time for the earthquake in '94.
The big earthquake.
Yeah, the big one.
The big one.
You know, talking about, you know.
It was bad.
Feeling powerless.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, when you're a kid carrying your lunchbox to school all willy-nilly, not giving a crap, but you're the lunch inside of it.
Right, yeah.
You know, like
rattles you pretty good.
Yeah. And then after that, kind of started really establishing myself in Grand Rapids more so.
All right.
Playing bass now, though, because I was drummer in Detroit and then drummer before.
So your drummer starting out and doing all that.
Yeah, because the Detroit time made me really want to get out on the stage.
Okay.
Because they were like full glam band. I'm like, well, I want to get out there and have fun instead of
being behind the
throwing
rack.
Beer at me and I have nowhere to go.
I can't move.
Right, you know. And so started this band called Drug Red.
Drug Red.
You know, which was more of like that shock rock kind of.
You're up your face.
Yeah, and we were doing, you know, like the White Zombie, Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails kind of thing.
Okay.
And, you know, played at the East Town Works all the time and other places, you know. And did that for a couple of years. And then that ended up kind of just being a real bad burnout situation, you know, some troubles going on in there, you know, like people going one way or the other, whether good ideas or bad ideas. And I wasn't really into the bad idea guys, so I was like, rock and roll. And then, you know, made some bad decisions of my own. And then started my own band called Lost Dog, which was a total different direction from that band, which was more of like a classic blues rock.
Oh, that's kind of a change up.
Aerosmith, Jimi Hendrix, Black Crowes kind of thing we were doing, you know, messing around with like, you know, your LA Guns type stuff. And
you kind of not slowed it down, really. We just changed it just up a little bit there.
Yeah, we were less extreme.
Okay, right.
You know, and that eventually evolved into the Nasties. Because the Danny that was the drummer from Lost Dog, me and him kind of hit it off to this idea of this great glam band of Grand Rapids being, we're really like the guys that have only been.
So it was you and Danny Smash that started this?
Pretty much, but mostly
it was your name.
It was yeah. I came up with the Nasties name, and called myself Big Nasty, and I had this vision of what I had always wanted to do was this glam band, like you know, because there hadn't really been one in Grand Rapids unless there was like the '80s and they had the cover bands that were like trying to do that whole thing.
True, at that time.
But as far as being an original band doing that, you know, that was. Yeah, and that was what I wanted to do, and that's always still been my thing, being like image based.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though now I'm not necessarily doing like the secular rock, but I still rock a glam image.
Well, yeah, you're Mick. You know, you can't take away the person. Okay,
right.
You are you, and the Nasties was a hell of an era there for you.
It was,
you know, and you guys did some pretty cool shit.
Yeah, we got to play. You know, that was a realized fantasies kind of time.
Okay.
When we were starting in this mayhem, we were like, hey, well, wouldn't it be cool to play with Faster Pussycat and play with LA Guns and get to know these guys, Poison and Warren or whatever and this and that? Well, all of a sudden you start playing with these guys.
Nice.
You know, you never know, you know, it wasn't that band then. But then it kind of happened.
True.
And it was like, whoa,
Wow.
like, so what you wish for can happen. You just got to be patient, give it time, and keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Like with any area of life, though.
True.
You want something, be patient.
Keep at it.
And keep at it, So you can't just expect instant results. I know nowadays everybody's got that
expectation
of gratification culture going on, but I want it now.
Right. I think with social media kicks that up a lot too. Yeah. But go on, Mick. We got more to cover there. So you went out to LA and stuff, and you did get to meet your idols.
Yeah,
some of them,
and that was fun. And then Brent Muscat from Faster Pussycat. He which I had mentioned like from the first band on. Maybe play with those guys. Well, we did a few shows with that band. He ended up producing part of our album, played a guitar solo on the Nasty's Old Wine New Bottle album.
Nice.
On the song Dangerous.
Okay.
Which was really cool.
Yeah.
And because I asked him, you should do this solo. He goes, you don't want to do it? I go, no, that'd be cool if you did it, man. Because then you get somebody on your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then then you get some little friendships here along the way with people you wouldn't expect, and it's pretty neat.
It's pretty surprising when you do, as I've told people before, whether it's on TV or through the podcast, when you get in the entertainment business, whether musician, singer, dancer, comedian, some doors open up. You do meet certain interesting people, and sometimes you get a chance to meet some of the people that you've always hoped to meet and work with, which is cool, And like you say, persistent in your career or what you're focusing on can get you probably those results.
Yeah.
And you did that. So and you with Dave, and then
but also back from like the Lost Dog era, I played with Gilby Clarke, mostly No Guns N' Roses, replacing Izzy, but then Ryan Roxy, which at Harpo's in Detroit, but then during my Nasty's time, Alice Cooper was playing at the Orbit Room, and I went and I talked to Ryan Roxy, and I gave him a Nasty's t-shirt, and then he ended up wearing it on stage, and like Danny and then Kenny from Rocket King were there next to me, and he comes out on stage, and they both looked at me like,
how'd you do that?
I said, hey, I know people.
Good PRing, Mike. Good PRing.
So that was a funny moment. But, I've met like just tons of people, and I don't even care to necessarily run down all that list.
Sure. But, there's a big list, I'm sure.
I don't need to name drop too much. I don't care.
Well, name drop one more person because it's probably your biggest person that you're a fan of, and that would be Ricky.
Bro, Ricky Rocket? Yeah, he was a big influence, because, I was learning to drum and then seeing him in concert like multiple times gave me my style. Even my friend Keith that I play with now, he plays bass with me here and there, and he was in Lost Dog too. But I'll go off into some drum solo thing. He's like, you sound like Ricky Rocket.
There goes the 80s drum solo.
And I was like going, well, I'm not trying to. But yeah, so it was cool. We're down in South Bend. It was the Nasty Faster Pussycat, Cinderella, and Poison, and all. We were all hanging out, and was able to meet Ricky Rocket, and that was cool. And then that was the only time I was ever really starstruck in my life, because I've met like tons of people, but somebody who's like a big influence is like, it's always different.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, we still have some minimal contact here and there, and then.
But you got a chance to meet one of your idols.
And it was fun.
That's fun.
And and I always liked that he has other interests besides just the music.
Right.
Because I've had multiple interests. Whether it's even from the beginning, I always wanted to use music as a vehicle to other things. Like, well, if I can get established in this, that could lead to that or lead to that. Being able to author a book or be in a movie or do art and be recognized in some way. Maybe it was just some sort of a vehicle, whether it was direct or indirect. I don't know. But I've been able to do that stuff, and I'm satisfied. Even if it's like low level, doesn't matter.
Right. Well, you seem to have hit. You've played with some of the greatest out there, and you've created some beautiful stuff. And hey, everybody got to hear Killer barking in there. Okay.
Well, I went through a time where I said I don't know if going up was worth coming back down, but you can take great comfort in being humbled if you need to be.
Yeah, you got to find yourself and be humble with yourself.
Yeah, because you can get out of control.
With this industry, yes.
Yes.
Very quickly. And especially, I think, kind of the road you were taking with the glam band, the heavy rock. Sometimes that tends to lean into more partying, I think, and stuff, and whatever. It goes down to. But, as we get a little older, I think we mature and kind of we put some of that aside, some of us and stuff.
Well, Nasty's ended up being like the toast of the town for a while.
Yes, you guys were.
And that brought all the trappings that go with it. When you say no to some and yes to others, and but then there came a time where I had to move on.
Right, and you did.
Not that it didn't hurt, but it had to.
It had to happen, and so you did move on, and you stuck around, and then you popped up, and you came in the studio with the Potato Babies playing drums.
Yeah, that weirded everybody out that I was playing drums. Yeah. A lot of people didn't even know that I played drums.
Yeah.
I was just trying to take a backseat position for a while, just to keep playing, but it ended up not happening that way because it was like all of a sudden like, oh, Mick's playing with those guys,
Wait a minute.
And then we were on the cover of Recoil magazine.
Right. Yeah, but you kept busy.
That
was the main part is you keep them busy with the music.
Well, I was really unhappy with my personal life at the time, and so I filled it with being busy with bands.
Good.
Next thing you know, I was like playing with like 8 bands, like fill-ins and
just doing everything
all over, doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. And so, then you disappeared on me, and you came back with Crazy Horses with Dalton. And when you did a set, Dalton. I'm not Dalton, but Dalton. You came on and did the Crazy Horses with me on the No Cover TV show. And that was pretty cool. You were playing guitar now on that and singing, and had a good time. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that lasted just a couple of years?
Kind of acoustic.
Yeah, that was acoustic. Yeah, exactly.
And that was still, that lasted a couple of years, and then life happens. People start moving on into other things, and we play a little bit now. We're doing maybe doing a reconfiguration of that.
What you did before, okay.
In some sort of way, yeah, but maybe more in the same direction of things that I'm doing now. Okay, right. More positive and less.
I understand. We're going to get to that point too. well, good. And in throughout what I've watched from the early days to that, you've changed up the music styles. So it showed me the different incredibility you have of changing it up from throwing out a beat on the drums and singing while you're playing the drums, then putting down the sticks and going right to the guitar, picking up the guitar and throwing down some pretty great songs and singing to those too. Yeah. You're very versatile when it comes to being a musician and a performer.
Well, thank
you. I've loved watching you and enjoying your journey. And you've done some amazing stuff, Mick. I'm really proud of you.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you got a lot of great stuff going on now, even. Definitely.
Very great stuff.
Yes, you're doing very well. And do we want to? Let me look at my list. I'll have to put the glasses on, get a little older here. But no, we've touched on quite a bit here. But let's talk about now, Mick. We're jumping all the way from back then, right, to present day. I come across you last year or so. I said, Mick.
Yeah.
Year two, whatever. Something like that. I said, I'm not letting go of Mick. He's back. My buddy's back. Yeah. So that's great. So when we met, we chatted this off, and you look good, you sound great, you've got the smile on your face, the twinkle in your eye, you're happy, you got married to your beautiful wife, Pam, like that.
Been a whirlwind.
Big whirlwind, wow. And it is a big change from what you've been going through. I mean, and you changed it up musically, style-wise.
Yeah.
It's, how am I going to say it? Apostolic rock and roll. Apostolic rock and roll, Christian-based rock and roll.
Yep.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
And I like it that, you're not hiding behind putting it out there. Because some people are very shy to put that out there.
Yeah.
And you're not.
No, you just said, deny me, I'll deny you.
That's right. So, talk to me.
Can't deny that.
Right. So you had a journey and you found, I don't know if it was yourself or what it was, but talk to me a little bit on your journey and what was it finding God and be wanting to play, Christian music, and you've written some incredible stuff, and you're going to perform a little bit for me in a minute.
Oh.
So well, talk to me about your writing process of everything here. And I know where your wisdom's coming from now, but and the inspiration, obviously.
Oh yeah, well, what I do for my music and live shows is it's like a living. It's like a speaking engagement and music, testimonial.
Okay.
So I share my story. A lot of what we're doing today, in a way, little less on the past. I'll brief the past to
an extent.
I'll reference the past just to give it to somewhere to go where I had to come from to be where I'm at now.
Right.
Because when I did my solo album, we didn't talk about that.
Oh, well, we can talk about that. Throw that in
So
there.
I did my solo album,
okay,
which was called, McNasty's Soul Food for the Damned. And that was basically like spiritual conflict and a love affair with whiskey. And that's just going to end badly.
Yeah, it's train wreck, isn't it?
Yeah. So I wrecked. And I had to come to terms with that and, and go through rehabilitation and, realize that there's a higher power and, did the AAs and celebrate recovery and EAA,
every initial.
Yeah, ZA, BA. Anyway, but I dove into the Word and took many correspondence courses of Bible study and how it applies to my life, and that it's beyond religion. It's not religion, it's relationship, and which is where my Zero Bondage ministry comes in. It's about being free from addiction, free from religion, free from
the bondage.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do in your bedroom is your business. But,
I didn't mean to go there, but
what I'm saying, it's not that kind.
Right.
The worldly bondage.
Exactly.
Drug addiction or work addiction, whatever's holding you down and keeping you in chains. Because I put myself into a rock and roll prison at a point where, we'd go golfing, but we couldn't just call it golf because we're like, well, we're rock and rollers, so we better call it rock and roll golf.
Label it.
Yeah. So now we're labeling things. We're sticking ourselves in every day to call it this or this and this. Well, let's play horseshoes. Well, we better call it rock and roll shoes.
Okay.
And so you're building, and now it's like, how free are you? Because you're working on this whole being and persona thing and everything else like this, where it's like, I'm stuck in this mud of this world and all this crap that I created around myself and let build up. And I looked at Jesus and he reached down and pulled me up and said, if you want it, you can have it. And so I accepted the gift.
Nice.
And so I have to share my story that you don't have to go through everything that I had to go through You know, whether it's, you know, whether you get locked up or whether you car crash or whether you know, hurt somebody or whether you
whatever it is,
it doesn't matter. And you can be free. And once you shake that stuff, you have more of a chance of being happy than trying to indulge in all these other things that you think are going to make you happy. It's like, quit worrying about the advertising. You know,
we tend to, in this business, you worry about a lot of things. We put a lot in our backpack, and it seems, and then it gets to us. It kind of eats at us and picks at us and stuff. And if we don't unload some of that crap along the way, we're kind of screwed up.
Well, here's what's funny, though, is like I'm to a point now. I used to care about this and worry about this and do this stuff like this to where I care, but I don't care. And because I don't care, it's a whole lot easier to do it.
Right.
But, because it's there and I can use it and I can do it.
But you don't have to.
But I have a passion for it. But if all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, I guess that fell through. There'll be something else.
Right.
Because I've had that happen where I had a gig that I planned on. I got a car wreck the same day, and the gig fell through.
Oh.
But then later that night, I ended up with a better one.
There you go.
Because of that one not happening. Had I done the one, the other one wouldn't have mattered. I wouldn't have lurched. You know, it was just kind of like being open to these blessings and.
Yeah, that's what you
call being open.
Yeah.
Being open, listening, being faithful, relinquishing some control.
Control, there you go.
You know, definitely. And it's just kind of like, just enjoy every day that's given to you.
Yes, definitely.
You know.
Yes, I say the same thing every day I wake up. I'm very blessed to have what I have and do the things I've done and meet the people I've met like you. Definitely.
You know, I mean, if all of a sudden I have 3, 4, 5 gigs a week or something like that. Oh, wow, that's pretty amazing.
Right.
If I don't have any gigs, I guess I'll work around the house and
something to do around the house.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm not worried about like the whole
everything that
not like the old days where it was like I have to be this to matter. It's
need to.
No, because I still matter.
You do. You actually do. And now I think this is a good point for me to throw this question at you, which I'd probably do later on, but since you've got so much that you've done and started early in your career, throw me some advice for these kids that are coming up that are wanting to be a rock star, 17, 18, 19-year-olds picking up the drumsticks or the guitar, wanting to be what they see on TV. Any advice for these kids? What's to come and what to maybe avoid, what to maybe possibly do?
Other than don't, I will say...
Let's do the don'ts. Listen, kids.
I'm saying other than don't at all. No. You know, I could have gone to school, but it was one of those things where I felt like, nope, that's going to take up all my good years. Well, next thing you know, it's over. Those couple of years, and it's like, you go to college and you're still only going to be, 21, 22 when you get out?
Yeah, a few years went by. All right.
Yeah, so you could go get your basic degree, do your thing, or go to school, get something, just in case, because there's like 9 billion trillion bands out there, if that's even a number.
They're right.
And I mean, you look at the old Hollywood Sunset Strip days. One club would have every single day filled on their calendar. And there'd be like 5 or 6 bands, and none of them repeated.
They just kept coming through.
And it's like, you know, what is it? They say like in sports, like 1% out of high school athletes might make it to pro.
We're probably right. I don't watch sports really.
But it's something, but that's still entertainment business.
Yeah, that is.
But it's the same thing. Like, and it's all just do what you think, because you ever, I mean, look at Billy Strings.
No, Billy Strings, yes,
he's from down the road there in Mirror.
And he's doing great now.
And he's like huge, and he's a bluegrass guy. But he wasn't like going, oh, I better jump over to this, or I'm going to jump over to this, or I got to try to be this. It's like, I'm going to play some bluegrass here in rural Michigan. Yeah. And next thing you know, I'm all over the place. A huge guy.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. You can sit there and practice, whatever, and you can think you're the best, but it doesn't really matter because it's all whoever happens to see you. It's all, it's a luck thing. Right place, right time. Right place, right time. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say don't be in a band or anything because it's fun, Right. It's definitely character building, but don't expect to make any money.
Not in this town. Not in this town, but any town.
Another interview, they were, I was just like,
I don't want to talk about those days.
I don't expect to make any money.
You expect to spend more money on your gear than you'll make money in the beginning.
Yeah, what was the one thing I saw where it was like going, I made it to being a millionaire as a musician, but I started out of being a billionaire.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to love it, and then it becomes part of you, and you do it because you like it. Don't do it because you have to, or like that's going to be your way to make it in life or something. Because there's too many factors involved that are beyond your control.
There is
because you could, some people are like, oh, promote. Yeah, but you got to be.
You're up against
good enough to back up the promotion.
Right.
Plus your promotion has to work with you. Plus you got to be at the right place at the right time. And
it's a difficult business.
And the industry's changed. So
yes, it has. So
I think it's like more like, if you can somehow push your YouTubes and.
Well, they got a lot of platforms now that they can throw their music out there, and
I feel a little old when it comes to the internet part. I'm like,
So me too.
I still feel like stapling something to a telephone pole,
typing something. I don't know, but so the youngsters out there, just lay down a career and don't give up the music, and just watch your P's and Q's, I guess.
Yeah, do what you want to do, but and I don't want to be hypocritical on the whole have something to fall back on, but I really didn't have something to fall back on other than the restaurant industry, because that was just like convenient for being a musician. Like, look at all the actors that are out there going, oh, I wait tables.
Yeah.
And then because they think they're going to be the next famous actor.
Right.
And same story. It's industry. The entertainment business is pretty horrible.
It is. It's a rough business, very rough business. But with what you're doing now, I'm loving it. And I see on here, even without my glasses, it says Facebook, Mick Jansen, YouTube. You got some music on YouTube, huh?
Yeah, a whole bunch.
You got a whole bunch on YouTube right there. We're not even playing. Well, actually, I don't have to do it because you brought your guitar. Take it up, Mick. Let's play a song. Let's do a song here. Well, we got some time here. You're only the second person to do this here live. Jason was the last one, Jason Eller. So, Mick, you're going to lay down here. We're going to test the tune here and see how we're looking here on the old volumes. Check here. Looking good. So, yeah, check Mick out on the town. He's out there performing. I'm sure Mick's going to be doing stuff this summer.
Yeah, but the weird thing is I mostly play churches now, but I'm looking into getting into more festival-y type of,
I was thinking you were going to do that.
Outdoor type deals or some other things, But I don't necessarily want to play bars.
No, you don't have to, Mick. You don't have to. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Why don't you tell us what you think?
Which song I want to play. I guess I can do.
You might have some backup with Zoe here. It sounds like my dog's going crazy for Mick. So she's going to sing for
I
you.
only had my own version of Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. But, I don't know. Let me just do this. Let me do like a nicer, melodier type thing, or a little like rippery type one.
One of each. How about one of each? We got
okay.
time for one of each.
All right, let's do mountains. My past is falling away. I get down on my knees and pray. New life in Christ begins today. My past is falling away. The times are gone that I can't change, but my life right now rearranged with help from above. But I can still love who is far away. Well, I wonder if she sits on top of mountains to be closer to the sky. I hope she goes up to be near God and not just to cry. I wonder if she sits on top of mountains above the trees. 'Cause when she's up on that old mountain, does she ever think of me? Yeah. Consistent prayer for contact with my daughter. I might not be a parent, I am a father. Oh Lord, would you please make her please on me? I'm praying all day she'll return my way, you see. Yeah. Well, I wonder if she sits on top of mountains to be closer to the sky. I hope she goes up to be near God and not just to cry. I wonder if she sits on top of mountains above the trees. When she's up on that old mountain, does she ever think of me? Yeah. She doesn't even know she makes me proud. And I know she's proud of me 'cause I'm not around. I've got these four walls, she's got it all. But I really hope that she and Jesus. And I wonder if she sits on top of mountains to be closer to the sky. I hope she goes up to be near God and not just to cry. I wonder if she sits on top of mountains above the trees. When she's up on that old mountain, does she ever think of me? Yeah, I wonder if she sits on top of mountains to be closer to the sky. I hope she goes up to be near God and not just to cry. I wonder if she sits on top of mountains above the trees. When she's up on that old mountain, does she ever think of me?
There he is, Mick Jansen. Awesome job, my friend. Thank you. That was beautiful. You're trying to touch my heart there, I feel.
Well, that song's called Mountains, if I didn't say it.
Yeah, but I like that. That was really good. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you know, I can feel the inspirations in that song too. I'm liking that a lot.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah, there is a lot in there. So we got a little bit of time. One more. We got one more that's under 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, sure. How about let's do some Sun Shines on Me, I guess.
All right, let's do it.
Your sun shines on me. That's all.
All right.
I've been reading through the scriptures, and so now the day goes by. I'm feeling my Savior, way up high in the sky. Practice what I preach, sometimes hard to do. The function of the glory, it's gotta come to you. The sunshine, don't do it time, and the sun shines on me. Prison time, but I'm doing fine now. The sun shines on me. Sunshine, don't do it time, now the sun shines on me. Prison time, but I'm doing fine now. The sun shines on me. What you done for me? By the heavenly host, I was blind, but now I see. Jesus is inside me. He's there within my heart. I'm ready for my soul to keep it down. Sunshine, come through and down there. Sunshine's on me. Prison time, but I'm doing fine. Sunshine's on me. Sunshine, come to it time, yeah, sunshine's on me. Prison time, but I'm doing fine, yeah, sunshine's on me. Yep.
Unbelievable. And he throws the pick like an icon. I love it. There we go. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. That was Mick. Beautiful. Thank you for doing that for us. Everybody out there.
And I was like, what?
That was great, Mick. So to our listeners out in podcast land, thank you for stopping into another episode of No Cover TV with Mick Jansen. Thank you for stopping in the house, brother.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it so much, and I love seeing your face every week. Puts a smile on my face and makes my weekend.
Well, it's like not like we're out of the way from each other.
No, we're pretty close now, aren't we? Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, we saw you walking by.
You're right. I say you can smell my dog's poop in the back, probably. I'm just kidding. But anyways, tune in. This is what I'm talking about. Local music and even national at one point. check the music out. You never know.
Yeah. She's got some European coverage and stuff and things.
Yes, you have.
And then when I did the Brimstone, I was all over the world, like your show is.
Right, yeah, you were everywhere. So I said, you probably even know Mick. So check him out. Go to the YouTube channel. It'll spell your name out. It's Mick, M-I-C-K, and then it's Jansen, right? Jansen.
Yeah.
Then go to YouTube and check out some new great music from you. And I'm sure you got a lot more music under your belt to add.
Oh, yeah.
You're writing every day, I'm sure.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And, like I said, you're not necessarily going to be playing out at places, but if they want to go to church and see you, they can see you. Probably sometime, you'll mention it.
Yeah, it'll be advertised. Yeah, I got some, few things in the works.
Exactly. You always do.
Get your contracts and deals in place. So.
Right. So, again, people, check out our podcast. It's on Spotify. We're on Anchor. We're on all the platforms. And drop me a note if you want to, the bottom link there. Or you can hit me up at nocovertv@yahoo.com. Bands, artists, we'd like to talk to you no matter where you're at in the world. We'll make this happen, and we'll talk to you. We'll get down to the nitty-gritty and check out some music and pump it out there for you. That's what it's about. No Cover TV has been doing this a while. Not much less than podcast, but TV. But now let's do it this way. Let's get it right out there, man. So again, Mick, this is your show. We're going to end it with your last words. What do you got to say to the people? This is your show. How are you going to end the show?
Hey, set your mind on things above and keep the music in your heart and keep on rocking.
Keep on rocking. Great words, people. All right. On that note, we're out here, people. You have a great day. Check out the next podcast. It's going to be an awesome one. Thanks, Mick. Talk to you soon, bro.
Okay, bye.
Bye.